Hey there, my name is AJ Pickett and I make videos about role-playing games, and lots of them. I upload twice a week with a live stream every weekend. You can also find me on Subscribestar, Patreon and Discord, Facebook and Twitter. Also, there's an option to join the channel as a member, and I welcome any questions you have in the comment sections down below. If you like this video or this channel, hit that like button and subscribe if you would be so kind. Demons are loathsome creatures. Sure, some wear a thin layer of seduction, but they really are just disgusting, horrible, and completely evil monsters that can never be trusted and very rarely controlled. My advice for anyone getting into the spell-slinging game is avoid demons unless absolutely no other option is available, and even then, incinerate all trace of the damn things, if they so much as twitch in a way that seems suspicious. Today, we're going to learn about a demon more commonly found outside of the ruinous plains of the Abyss, as they are sent out like toadies and minions to fetch objects, deliver messages, and so on. The Uridezu Tanar'ri, or rat demons, are nasty, conniving, cowardly, rat-fink bastards that are everything you would expect from a rat demon, and while you may think they are kind of weakling, pathetic rodent monsters, up close and personal they are actually brutes, and they can be extremely dangerous. It's just lucky that they're about as stupid as a bag of rocks. Uradezus stand around 6 feet tall with a long torso and short legs. They are muscular but hunch over, often squatting down and peering up, their head twisted to one side, sniffing and drooling, always moving a little bit, their beady eyes glistening. They don't tend to have a pelt or fur, more like patches of hair that honestly just serve to make them look even more wretched, and their skin is best described as leprous, covered in sores and pus-oozing lesions. They smell like a sewer. They delight in filthy habits, and they usually drag around their very long, hairless tail, which you should always keep your eye on. Even though the tail is not prehensile, it's deceptively strong, and they can whip it around with quite a bit of force, usually to knock a target prone before they lunge in with their claws and fangs. Rat demons first appeared in the lore in a series of adventures I have wanted to run for some time, the Marco Volo modules. Sound like quite a lot of fun, and I hear they maintain quite a hectic pace throughout the adventure. They appear also in the Monstrous Compendium Volume 4 from 2nd edition AD&D and the 3rd edition Manual of the Planes. They get a mention. While they are described as having a low intelligence, there's also lore describing how a rat demon was the captain of a planes-travelling chaos ship, so exceptions to the norm exist, but they are on average only marginally intelligent, capable of carrying out simple commands or thinking up commands of their own. As rat demons are able to control and command both ordinary and giant rodents whenever they encounter them, even though they are foul creatures of the Abyss, this ability to command rats on the prime material plane can be one of their most powerful assets, with highly unusual rat activity being one of the sure signs one of these monsters is operating nearby. The listing in Planescape says that they can summon only rodents that were already in the area, and typically this would be 4d6 ordinary rats or 2d6 giant rats, and the controlled rodents are no more intelligent than any others, but may seem so as they perform tasks that the rat demon has given them, tasks that a rodent would normally never do. Back in the lower planes and the infinite ruination of the abyssal layers, Uradezu are either suffering in miserable servitude to greater Tanar'ri, or scuttling around scavenging and lurking in the shadows, grabbing scraps of food and attacking the other lesser Tanar'ri such as the twisted Rutakin and the swarming dretches. They're so low in the pecking order of demons that more powerful types just treat them as punching bags and playthings for their cruel amusements. Their mistreatment is so bad that most Uradezu crave any excuse to get out of the abyss and explore the outer planes of existence, and in this, they turn out to be remarkably resilient compared to other lesser Tanar'ri. Magic users who first attempt to summon random demons are far more likely to summon an Uradezu than other types, and will find them quite willing to serve mortals' masters, who may also be cruel but nowhere near as cruel as demon masters tend to be. An annoyed summoner is unlikely to slowly tear them limb from limb and eat those limbs in front of the Uradezu as they do so. It's not even like the rat demons have to hunt down rifts to other planes. They have the ability to stand motionless and very vulnerable and phase themselves out of one reality and into another. It takes them at least a few minutes to do this, and during that process they tend to get pulled into any active summoning magics in the area. Otherwise they will just phase out of one plane and into another. Because they are motionless and vulnerable when they do this, they will typically seek out only isolated areas to depart or arrive. Deep caves, The Upper Underdark and ancient city sewers are perfect examples of favoured spots. There is more to their plane-shifting powers than that, though. Many of them seem to find themselves trapped on the prime material plane for as much as centuries at a time. The truth is, this is because often they are deliberately sent by greater demons to serve mortals who have made bargains with them, and the greater demons will bind the Uradezu to the prime material plane as part of that. Not caring that mortals only live for short periods of time, they will brand Uradezu with magical glyphs that block their plane travel ability for hundreds of years, and the Uradezu are too stupid to know how to rid themselves of these marks. A rat demon's vital energy is maintained outside of the abyss by preying on other living creatures, so while they command rodents, they also regularly summon them simply to gorge on their flesh and consume their essence to sustain themselves, which is similar to a need to eat, but not quite the same. They gain no nourishment unless the eaten creatures are still alive. If they are killed on the primary material plane or any other non-abyssal planes, like all other demons, they will dissolve into a foul ichor that boils away within a few minutes, reforming in the abyss from one of the countless spawning pits. More powerful abyssal masters such as the Succubi, Uridezu and Balors find different uses for them. The Balor whip them into packs of expendable slaves, and they send them in waves to just grind down opponents with violence, gore, and shocking disregard for their own minions. Uridezu often use rat demons to send messages or fetch objects, with any mistake or failure of the Uradezu being rewarded with a cruel and certain death, usually disgusting torture followed by being torn apart and eaten. Their meek demonic essence being consumed by the Uridezu to increase the greater demon's own formidable power. Succubi are no less cruel, though at least they don't tend to eat the Uradezu as they kill them. They simply command the Uradezu to leave the abyss and not return until they've redeemed themselves through spreading chaos and destruction. In combat, the rat demon will hide behind its rodent minions where possible, keeping itself concealed yet able to observe its enemies and direct its rat minions to fight far more viciously and cleverly than they would naturally do so. Rat demons spend eons in a miserable existence where they are constantly hiding from stronger demons and other abyssal horrors of the countless twisted nightmare worlds which each layer of the abyss is comprised of, each chunk of reality that the abyss has devoured as it spreads throughout the multiverse. This seemingly spineless behaviour is a survival instinct, but they're not cowering in fear, they're waiting for their opportunities to strike from the darkness. Uradezu prefer to disarm their victims or occupy them with their rat minions before they dart in deceptively fast and lash out with their formidable bite. The bite of a rat demon causes paralysis. They are +6 to hit with any of their physical attacks. This includes a sweeping tail attack that causes 1d4 + 1 bludgeoning damage and will force the target to make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone. Remember, anyone knocked prone must spend half their movement to stand up again, and while prone they have disadvantage on the attacks they make, while an enemy has advantage on their attacks against them if their attack is from within 5 feet, basically adjacent. Otherwise, attackers further away instead suffer disadvantage on their attacks on the prone target. So the rat demon will sweep and then make a bite attack on a prone target. Or if the target remains standing, they will usually make a pair of claw attacks instead, swapping damage for the ability to disarm. Bitten victims must succeed on a DC 13 Constitution saving throw or be poisoned for 1 minute. Until this poison condition ends, the target is also paralyzed. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Saving against the bite does not confer immunity to further bite attack paralysis, so it's possible for the rat demons to keep a victim immobile for quite some time, which is exactly what they do when they abduct a victim back to their lair and feast on them while they are still alive, along with their rat minions. Uradezu have an armor class of 15 and 11d10 plus 33, or between 44 and 143, with an average of 93 hit points. They have a speed of 40 feet and can swim at 30 feet per round. They are more agile than they look, particularly when climbing, and have 60-foot dark vision. They are immune to natural fire, cold, lightning, and poison, plus they're also deceptively skilled hand-to-hand fighters who are exceptionally good at gaining the upper hand in combat. In 5th edition, the rat demons have to use one of the optional combat rules found in the Dungeon Master's Guide to disarm their opponent. The rule states that the creature can use a weapon attack, which includes their claw attack, to knock a weapon or another item from the target's grasp. The attacker makes an attack roll contested by the target's strength, athletics check, or dexterity acrobatics check. If the attacker wins the contest, the attack causes no damage or other ill effect, but the defender drops the item. The attacker has disadvantage on its attack roll if the target is holding the item with 2 or more hands, and the target has advantage on its ability check if it is larger than the attacking creature, or disadvantage if it is smaller. Rat demons are medium sized, so this is normally not much of an issue for adventurers, but it's handy to know. A typical rat demon attacking sequence might start with a movement from hiding to get advantage on a tail sweep, then either biting a prone target or attempting to disarm with a claw attack if the target is still standing. If the target drops their weapon or shield or staff or whatever, the rat demon will keep making bite and claw attacks, retreating defensively only if it starts taking heavy damage. They're stupid creatures, but they do have a strong sense of self-preservation. They are immortal unless destroyed, so it's much better to retreat and then attack again much later. Time is quite an ally for supernatural fiends. The claw attack, by the way, does 2d4 plus 2 damage. Other than being loaned out by powerful demons to mortals who seek pacts and such, there's not much else to say about rat demons. Like many of even the lesser demon kind, they can only really be harmed by magical weapons or weapons of cold iron. These things did give me some ideas about making a really hateable NPC Cambion, a half-blooded rat demon, the result of a revolting possession of a mortal which results in the spawning or birth of a rat Cambion. I can picture a rat Cambion ruling over a tribe of were-rats and a swarm of thousands of vicious rats deep in the sewers of an ancient city. Thieves' guilds run by mortal humanoid criminals is one thing, a den of were-rats, rat demon Cambion, and many rats who do their bidding is quite another sort of thing. You can imagine were-rats riding around on giant rats, just rats on rats. Next up in the demon series, let's take a look at another of the lesser demons, the mains, one which has been frequently requested. Please hit the like button if you've made it this far, subscribe if you like what I do, check out my Subscribestar or Patreon for the full scripts for these videos. Also, my videos now have subtitles, which I upload the scripts onto the video so you can read along while I'm talking. Buy some Teespring merchandise, wear your geek with pride, back my Kickstarter which has just been fully funded, and as always, thanks for listening, and I'll be back with more for you very soon.